Wow, let's jump to that game.
Absolutely, that's one that's important for the standings. What is going on? It's a battle of the tanks as only heavy pieces are on the board, but the king on a2 kind of worries me a bit. I'm not sure there's any real threats. Maybe there's nothing real here because you do kind of have to trade the rooks. A7 is hanging if you don't.
Rook f1, queen f1, rook f6, all on the board, queen h3, check, king b8.
Okay, so you didn't have to trade those rooks, you had to trade the others. The coordination between this rook on a1 and the queen on h3 looks very, very loose. On the other hand, I will move it out of the back rank at some point. If I had to pick a side, I would always pick black.
All day, every day, come on. Even though you don't see a clear win, but oof, this looks scary.
It looks very scary. The rook and the queen are so uncoordinated. Whereas look at how these two can penetrate on the f-file, start harassing this king on b1. It's all Wesley in this position.
And now rook to a3.
Rook's coming down to f2, no questions asked. Unless h7 is hanging, actually.
Again, let's note, there's a disjointedness in the coordination between the two white forces. The queen and the rook do not work well together, and you're not going to find any mating ideas anytime soon. So Wesley's trying to find the move that really puts the pressure on white. Remember, though, there is a back rank issue temporarily.
Yeah. So
with the h7 pawn hanging, when he takes it, it is going to be a threat to checkmate. And I think so he has to keep all of those trumps in mind, all of those realities, and he finally decided to play a5.
And what's wrong with taking on h7? Why did he give up this pawn? Because he could have done something similar, but rook f7 prevented the queen coming in and the queen coming in.
No, hold on, Alejandro, be careful. Because it might be a rook f1, queen e6 check issue. And then if you play rook b3, then a4. And if you play b3, then he can shift to your c file and get after the c2 pawn.
Maybe that's what he was scared. But Anand takes advantage of the other problem with a5, that, as I was mentioning, the d7 square is available for penetration. And that means that the queen and the rook are finally in the same sector of the board. They can start creating some threats. For the moment, no, that's not a threat, but queen d8 check is a bit annoying. Yeah, queen d8, rook a5 is not a threat because you do have the inner mess of rook f1. But the queen is just much better placed than d7, and it is actually threatening things.
Yes. Now, there's another issue that suddenly popped up.
Which is?
He played rook f1, king a2. Isn't there a b4 issue?
b4, breaking open the position.
And rook back.
Rook back.
Okay, now he cannot play b4 because of, well.
Excuse me, he can.
He can actually.
He can play b4. That's going to be a cool move. Take on c2, simply king b1, and the problem for black is you cannot defend against queen d8 followed by rook takes a5 as well as defending the rook. The geometry really works for white in this position after the move b4. That would be a crazy move to play, of course, incredibly risky, and Anand must be considering it. Look at he's positioning himself over the board. It's not necessarily a good move. I don't know if it is because there is b6 to consider. There's a lot of things to consider.
Here it comes.
No.
He's going to move his rook.
Yeah, rook b3, much more solid.
Rook b3, much more solid. That's not a pawn sack.
No, you cannot take on... Can you take on c2? What is the problem with taking on c2?
That's a good question. Take on c2, there's a check. There's a rook b5.
If you take on c2, I'll go rook b5.
He did take on c2.
Okay, can I play rook b5?
Rook b5.
Yes, rook b5 played.
Now you got to go all the way...
Only move.
All the way back, trade.
And you just take on h7 and you say, I'm not worse in the endgame. That's actually a fair point. Why would be white?
Okay, but now this is a draw, right?
It should be some kind of draw, but if I had to make a choice...
Queen c6, you're not going to beat me. I mean, if I play queen c6, I'm threatening queen a4.
I'm not so sure, because if I retreat the queen, I don't know the evaluation of these pawn endgames. This is an outside pass pawn.
Agreed. That is tricky.
I would be very scared to go into some kind of pawn endgame as black.
That's why I play king a7, probably a better move.
Yeah, just get rid of the problems.
The point being that after queen g6, now queen b5.
Yeah.
Queen g6, queen b5.
I think that is the plan. To play queen b5, attack this pawn on d3, start also threatening the queen a4, queen d1 perpetuals.
Has to be the right way to play.
And do we see it right now on the board?
Yep, queen b5, nice move.
This might just be a draw, honestly. Because that is an immediate perpetual, right? If I play queen a4.
He just played queen f7, and that is a draw if he wants it.
I don't think
if he doesn't take it, though, c7's hanging. This is going to be a draw.
That's just
there we have it, a draw.
All the leaders drew their games, setting us up for a potentially thrilling finale as Karyakin playing white against Korobov.
We still have this game.